Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic, Lynette here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today I am picking up at the end of the first video in this series, what is a junk journal? I've been asked that so many times here on my channel lately. I've had a lot of new subscribers. Again, I say thank you so much to all of you who are just joining in on my channel, who have subscribed and become part of this community. I appreciate you all so very much and I'm so grateful. So I really wanted to take the time in this series to break down a little bit what a journal might be, what a journal is to me, what it might be to somebody else. I'm super excited at the thought of sharing others in this community with you and some of the inspiration that I have received from them and just different ideas other than mine on how a junk journal might be used. So in the first video, I really focused more on my collections, a little bit of how I understand the history of junk journaling to be. The heart and core of my channel the last couple of years have been these collections. I started the series out with that. So if you missed that video and you'd be interested in checking it out, that link will be in the description box down below. But today I really wanted to focus on my larger journals. I love my larger journals so much, and I have a few. I have some that I have created myself. I've been fortunate enough to either be able to purchase something or to receive some beautiful journals as gifts from friends here on my channel, and I'm so grateful. And I mean, just it's such an amazing thing to be able to own a journal that somebody else created, because it truly is a masterpiece and a work of art, and I just love that. I love that so much. So I'm going to be a little more generalized today. I already talked about a little bit of this in my previous video, but I wanted to share with you again, everything that I use my smaller journals for really carries into my larger journals as well. So one of the main things that journaling has always been for me is a mental health thing. It's a way that I've always purged my emotions from the youngest age, really. You know, I've always used journaling as a means to express how I'm feeling. Sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it isn't things that I want other people in my family to read, but just getting it out and feeling like I've said it has been helpful for me. So it's really one of the main reasons why I just can't share some of those written pages. I should start out first with talking about this journal that I'm holding in my hand. This is actually a course that I took from Nick the Booksmith. If you are unfamiliar with her, I will link her channel in the description box down below. I paid a pretty penny for this course, but it has been priceless for me. It has taught me so much in terms of how to create this lovely cover. First and foremost, I created this cover myself, and back in the day, I didn't really know how to make a curved spine, and I really took her course and I made this one as well, a smaller version. And in my mind, I was using these two journals at the same time. This was my regular writing journal, and this was like my prayer journal. And in my mind, I was going to make a whole bunch of these that matched, and I was going to have this done in a month, and I was going to be on to the next one. I made these before I started making my own collections, but that didn't happen. I think this took me months to finish, and I don't think I even finished this one. So anyway, I always have these grandiose plans. Here's a blank page here. On the inside, you can get an idea of what it looks like. I use fabric. There's some vintage fabric back here. This is vintage fabric. These are scrapbook paper by Tim Holtz. Another thing that I love using throughout is lace. That's one of my favorite things to use when I make a journal. Like, here's a Bible verse that I wrote. And you can see that I used some washi tape. Just washi tape across the top and the bottom. I am not a hand letterer. I don't like my handwriting, and I can't draw to save my life. If I don't have anything to write, I can at least write something that means something to me. If it's a song lyric, if it's a quote that I read, if it's a meme, print out the picture and put it in there. Again, here's the beginning of a couple signatures, and you can see that it's just pretty scrapbook paper with some laces and trims. Here's something else I did. This is a funny tag to me. Funny translation on a tag that came off of a coat my husband bought. Again, here I've just used random stickers that I had. These are from the Dollar Tree. Emoji stickers have been one of my favorite things to play with. And then I just used like a journaling card to just write down some things. Always take time to think positive thoughts. Remember everything you have to be thankful for. Breathe, pray, sing, love. So, you know, it doesn't have to be in-depth, pouring your heart out type of journaling. It can just be fun. Another thing I do frequently is write out what I've read in my Bible study and in my notes, things that stick out to me. I'll go through seasons where I like to read devotionals, or I'll just read books of the Bible. And I usually flip-flop between the two of them, but sometimes when I'm just reading books of the Bible, I like to write down scriptures that really stuck out to me, that stood out to me, so I could go back and read them again. Another thing to point out is you don't always have to fill up the book. This is something that was a challenge for me in the beginning, but the paper itself is beautiful. You don't have to write on every page. You can skip around. If you don't fill up the book, it's not that big of a deal. See here, I have more blank paper. Here, I just added a greeting card that I received from my husband on Valentine's Day. I think that's a lot of fun. I've always been one of those people that hangs on to cards and then they're just in a pile and in a stack somewhere. This is a smaller 2-signature journal that I created, like I said, just to write down prayers. It's really decorated the same way. And I didn't even write in the whole second half of the book. It's something I could go back and write in again if I choose to. If not, I'm happy with it just the way it is. It served its purpose just like any other journal. Those are my 3 journals I've created for myself. That is from that Nick the Booksmith course. And she has lots of different courses. This is the one that I've taken and that I love. Another thing that I mentioned in my last video was using them for memory keeping. I used to scrapbook and I loved the scrapbooking. I did it for years and years. I'm over 12 years. I was a scrapbooker and that was the main focus of my crafting, was paper crafting and scrapbooking and all of that. I had so much fun learning that I could do those same things in a junk journal. So this is a journal that I created out of a vintage fabric. I love it so much. It has a nice curved spine. It also has all of the stitching on the inside. And I put this little plate down here that says summer of 2018. Wow, no idea, it was so long ago I made this journal. So here on the cover, we have a VW bus and we like to do a lot of camping when we have the time. I cut this off of a 6-pack. That image is everything summer, right? So here I just used a sticker, summer fun, added a big L, a big blingy L for Lynette. This was off of the cover of a magazine that I received in the mail. So it couldn't be more fitting that this would be what I wanted for my summer journal. It can take any avenue that you want it to, and it can be different on different days. On this one, I added just a lot of fun little fabric tabs. So I would keep our bus passes and our campground passes, just add photos, you know, of the family. I added a little bit of a vintage trim here. Again, I like to hang on to papers and add them to my journal. So that's from our campground trip, and just the photos and the quick notes. You know, not everything has to be super detailed. Here's just a fun picture of the campfire. So I really just wanted to use it as a scrapbook of the summer. Again, not every page is full. Some of them are blank, but one of the fun things about putting together a junk journal is the various papers. So this has some scrapbook paper in it. It has a vintage ledger here. It just has some letters that I've written for past collections. I was sticking it in here that summer. A coaster from a restaurant that we went to with some friends. There is some other ledger paper in here. What's fun about junk journals is you can add any papers and envelopes that you want to. Here I created a pocket out of fabric and added some trim. And here's some other things. In a scrapbook, you wouldn't necessarily let your nephew and niece scribble all over it, but I could in my junk journal. And now I have that little note that will last forever for me. Here's another one. And then you can add random book pages from various books, which is also a lot of fun. And you can see in this whole section, I didn't add anything. It's just blank, and that's fine. My birthday is in the summer, so I have my birthday cards here. This can combine my thoughts and feelings, everyday items, little tickets and ephemera and things from my life, and photographs from my days and things. So I definitely love memory keeping, especially during the summer months when things seem to be a little more active. These journals full of memories have just become really special to me. Just another example of a memory keeping journal. This is one that I completed recently. I made it out of fabric. You can see it's super chunky. It kind of took on a life of its own, but it was from a vacation that we took over the winter where we were visiting our family down in Florida. You know, one of the greatest things about this, not sharing an image of a photo, but is of a book page. This is out of a children's book that I had in my stash. And what I love about it is, you know, the mile markers in the ocean, the boats. This is something that really strikes a chord for me because we took a 2-hour boat trip out to some of the islands down there in the Keys, and it was just so much fun. And it was so memorable, and I love it so much. I like to use envelopes here where I stamped here and just added a few snapshots to the pocket. Again, with the book page, this is some art that was in a book page that I just love. Something else that I did was I used some old journaling paper. I avocado dyed it, which is a video I will be sharing soon. So this is another thing. Another thing I did was I added some book pages and maps from that area where they live. And just a couple more journals that I will share with you regarding memory keeping. I get pretty specific and I haven't finished them. Here's a journal that has not been finished. My friend Yalady made this gorgeous tassel for me and this charm, oh my goodness, to match this journal, and I just love it so much. So this was a journal I was creating. You can see it's really blank inside, but I was creating it to share just memories from my childhood. I have some vintage book pages and scrapbook papers like from the era, books that were a favorite of mine, then just book pages that remind me of myself as a little girl. This is something that is an ongoing project. I actually need to get some scans of photos from my parents. That would be really helpful for me to finish this journal. This is a work in progress, and it's something that I feel my girls might value later on in life when they're a little bit older. Another journal, and this is horrible, I started one for one daughter and still need to start one for the others. And see, I'm saying for them, but really scrapbooking, it was always for them and always about them. And this I really wanted to be for me. Like, I didn't want to think about it as something I was passing on. It could totally be, and it is, you know, but this was going to be one. This is one about my daughter Mackenzie, and I wanted to document and share stories and memories about her, things that I love about her in this journal. She was born in May, so I have a May book page in there. This was her book, this Peter Rabbit book. When Mackenzie was little, she loved Peter Rabbit. She loved Winnie the Pooh. I have this music book here that was a Winnie the Pooh songbook. I have some book pages from Winnie the Pooh. So this is a work in progress. You can see how thin it is. I haven't filled it up yet with photos and things. Another really fun journal that I have created for myself is this December daily. If you've never heard of a December daily, it is something that a lot of us here on YouTube love to participate in, where we document every day of the month of December and record it in some way. Some people love to scrapbook it, some people love to just journal it, but I made a little golden book junk journal. And this again is from my friend Yalady, who made me this beautiful tassel, and I just love the way that it looks on this journal. So this book I actually completed. And this one is super eclectic, and I love that about it. And I just kind of journaled throughout the month of December, everything that we did. I actually have a flip through on my channel. I probably have a specific playlist for this journal, so I will link that down below if you're interested in checking it out. This is probably one of my favorite journals that I've ever made. I love the way everything just pokes and sticks out. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope to do this again someday. So then I also have a very specific journal that my friend made me for my birthday one year. This is my lifelong best friend. We've been friends since we were like 10 years old. She knows that I was super into these junk journal things, and she made me one for my birthday. I think it's the first one she ever made, which is, she's amazing. She's amazing. So this was a boho themed journal specifically for me to document our camping trips in our bus. I haven't done a lot of writing in it yet. Again, one of those things. I'm supposed to take it with me and write in it when I go camping in my bus or on a trip in my bus. I have all these romantic ideas about it, but it never ends up being romantic. Funny how that works. She added this gorgeous button here to the front. I think I've done a flip through of this. If I haven't, I should. What I love about this is that she made it for me, and she just put so much personalization in it. Like, this is a heavily decorated junk journal, which is something that you can purchase from all kinds of amazing artists here on YouTube. But for me, she like printed on vellum some photos of our bus, some photos that she pulled off of like my Facebook page. She has dyed some amazing papers. One of my favorite things in here is really the photo that she used where we had to push our bus back into the driveway, because that's typical right there. That's typical. So I love all the personalization and the things that she did for us. Here's the one camping trip then that I did document in here so far, even though I plan on going back and writing some more. Yeah, and I did do some writing in the beginning that she had made this for me, and I just tucked it behind this little tuck spot. Here's another example of a photo that she added to the book itself, and it's actually a pocket that I can tuck some things away in there. This is a treasured gift, and I just love it so much. So that is another example of how a journal can be very specific to something that is so you, something about yourself, something that you love to do, maybe a thing that you do save, maybe you love to vacation, maybe you love to boat, maybe you live by the ocean, maybe you love to go to the beach, whatever that is about you that you enjoy. Wouldn't it be fun to document and have a journal completely related to that thing about you? Another couple of large journals that I want to share. These are two that I have received from other people. This I actually purchased from my friend Yolady. Again, I get another special one of her little tassels there. This is a completely Christmas themed journal. I think I could document every Christmas for years and years in here, but I love it. I haven't used it yet, but it's gorgeous, and it is just chocked full of so much creativity and so many fun things. So I do look forward to using this in the years to come. Look at all of those laces and ribbons poking out of there. That one is another very special journal to me. Yolady does have a channel here on YouTube. I will link her down below. She hasn't really posted anything recently, but she'll be back. I know she will. So you definitely want to go check her out. And then one more larger journal that I received is from my friend Jenny. And Jenny made me this one just out of the goodness of her heart, and she sent it to me. I'm so excited to have something that she made, because again, it's all her, and I can look at this and smile because my friend Jenny made it for me, and it just has so much fun little eclectic things in it that is totally Jenny. It's totally who she is and how she does her journals, and I love that about her. She is an amazing friend of mine, and I will link her in the description box down below. She does a lot of journals. The amazing thing about Jenny is, you know, she takes custom orders for them. I'm not sure where she's at with that right now or what her timeline looks like, but you can definitely go check out her channel and see how she journals, some journals that she's created, and maybe even contact her if you're interested in purchasing one. So yes, I am in love with this journal. Okay, you guys, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I've shared with you all of my personal larger size, full size junk journals and some ideas on how you could use them, ways that I've used them. I will leave a link in the description box down below, because there are some amazing people out there that use them so much differently than I do. I am not much of an artist in terms of drawing and painting. I've been getting into it a lot more lately, the painting and mixed media aspect of it. And I do know some amazing women that are so talented that way, and that's how they use their junk journals, completely different than me. There really is no right or wrong way to use a junk journal, which is what is so awesome about this craft specifically. So I am going to link some channels down below of some women who just inspire me because they think so differently than I do. So I would love for you to go check them out. Tell them I said hello. Tell them I sent you. I would love that so much too. Otherwise, you guys, I will be back for another video. In the next video, I'm going to talk about traveler's notebooks because I get a lot of questions about that. And I'm going to share with you how I use a traveler's notebook, and I'll probably share some other artists with you as well. So thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell button if you would like to be notified of future videos in this series, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.